What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Technically Speaking Live. It is Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. on the East Coast, and I am here in the studio with Stats, and I'll bring him in shortly. We have we have actually Julie looking forward to some info on the Pixel 6a. We're going to talk about the Pixel 6a. We're also going to talk about the status of Technically Speaking. What in the world? Why haven't I not put out videos for over a month? We're also going to talk about, let me go to the show notes. Just saw Stats' quick addition to the show notes. Lovely. Lovely. Why are people so obsessed with the metaverse? I don't understand. I really don't know. I don't get it. Unlimited Google Photos is back, kinda, if you're on T-Mobile. Switching to Android from iOS just got a little bit easier, but you can't use it yet, and quite honestly, I'm not sure that it would work. And man, NFTs are weird, dog. They are so weird. Without further ado, let's go ahead and bring in Stats. That scared me. I'll be straight up honest with you. That freaked me out. Freaked me out.
That's what I'm here to do, folks. Keep the talent on his toes.
The talent on his toes. What's going on, brother?
Oh, it's just another Wednesday here in the 1% Studios in the capital city, Columbus, Ohio.
That's right.
Just moving and grooving, hanging out with you lovely folks. Gonna spread some knowledge, spread some love. Gonna spread lots of lies about whether or not Scott Peachy already has the Pixel 7 Pro.
I don't.
And yeah, we're gonna talk about all those things you said we're gonna talk about. So.
Jason has already said Scott's had the 6A since Valentine's Day. And Julie says, which I'm sure you've had for 2 weeks.
So somewhere between 2 months and 2 weeks.
It could be anywhere between I don't have it to could be evidently according to Jason Valentine's Day, which was, I believe, the 14th of February.
2 months ago.
Was that really 2 months ago?
Well, today's the 13th
Jesus.
of April, so yes.
Good Lord. My God.
Yes, we are creeping ever and ever closer to your 40th birthday, you old man.
Go slow, young man.
Yeah, but I make
go
40.
Slow.
I make 40 look good.
Look, you're not denying it. I am an elder statesman. I am approaching the big 4-0.
I did have to trim the beard. The white hairs were getting so long.
Look, straight up. I've had more.
I mean, you've got your mic hiding yours.
I do, but the white hairs in the beard has shown up in fierce. Look, and here's the other thing: is like I'm just really gonna get really aggressive at telling you about how I look without clothes on. Like, like I have chest hair that is going white.
I honestly did not know where he was going.
With that, I was right.
Like I was a little worried.
You did. It can get weird, man.
So
we're gonna get really weird.
In positive news, you still have chest hair. In less positive news, it makes you look like Santa Claus.
The white hair. It's not. Look, I'm not full blown Santa yet. It's not that bad. It's just right here up at the tips. The tips up here is a little white.
Tips of the nips, you might say.
Tips up. Well, no, that's not quite that. not down there. They're not down there yet. That's still dark, like a lumberjack. Whatever. So I don't know which one I want to start with. I was in a conversation today with somebody from work talking about the metaverse.
Okay.
I don't know how to feel about it from a societal impact perspective. Okay. Because we could get into straight up WALL-E land. Have you seen the movie WALL-E?
Yes, of course.
Okay, just want to make sure. We could get to a point where we're all sitting in pods, living in the metaverse, where like I have a banging body in the metaverse. Just magnificent, just chiseled like a Greek god. But in reality, I'm a fat slob.
So
I don't like. I'm not sure why. There's a lot of companies double clicking into the metaverse. They're really digging into it, and I don't know what to think about it.
So, couple of avenues to go down here. One just popped into my head when you mentioned the movie WALL-E. But I'm gonna save that avenue for a second. So my thought is, it could go a couple of different ways. One, it could just be the next version of The Sims, or Roller Coaster Tycoon, or
I don't think it's going to be just games, though.
I don't mean games. I mean something that people are willing to spend an inordinate amount of time, money, effort, resources, energy, and emotion into building something that they enjoy. And that would be a positive, potentially. Now, the fact that it's being run by the Zuckster.
I'm not talking about the metaverse that way.
Okay, so you don't mean capital M metaverse.
I don't mean capital M
okay,
metaverse.
All right.
No.
All right, so
yeah, I don't mean capital M metaverse from Facebook.
Okay,
which I refuse to call Meta at this point.
Right.
I refuse to call them Meta. They
right.
are Facebook to me. Although I will give them credit. They have really branded the Holy Spirit out of themselves, like Meta, all the things.
Right.
All the things.
All right. So that's how I read the show note. I assume the proper noun.
Not the proper noun. Okay. So I'm talking about like metaverse.
Okay. So online depiction, appropriation, living basically a separate life from your day-to-day real world.
People are buying real estate in the metaverse.
I know. So the WALL-E was honestly not the first thing that popped into my mind when you said that. It was actually Ready Player One. So anybody who has read the book or seen the movie, have you done either?
I don't read.
Do you know anything about it?
Nope.
Okay.
I make it up. You make it up?
No.
I'll make it up on the spot.
Because the book is actually really cool. I think you would really enjoy it because it has so many pop culture references from the 80s, 90s.
I don't read good.
I know that, but maybe I'll get you an audio book version of it or something.
All right. I'd be down with that.
But anyway, so the premise of that book, and I won't give away too many secrets, is a creator, a visionary, if you will, creates this online world that is not just games. It's
a separate life.
It is so free form that you can create anything you want. People recreate, famous stadiums or cities or roller coasters or houses or whatever. And there are games, there are things like that, but it also becomes where people go to school. It's where people go to the libraries. It becomes, and to your point, people are allowed to create their own digital representations the way they want. Some people keep a somewhat human form, but accentuate certain attributes. Some people are just rolling around like, like the Iron Giant robot, that is their online avatar in the game in Ready Player One. So I think depending on who's running it, depending on how many people are participating, depending on how easy and cost effective or cost neutral it is for people to participate in the metaverse, lowercase m, that's where you're going to see whether it catches on or whether it doesn't.
So let's talk about living in the metaverse, right? I'm not sure why people are so obsessed with it, but people are buying real estate in the metaverse already. And I'm not sure what they're buying. Same thing with NFTs. NFTs are weird. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. NFTs are wild, and I still don't get it. And somebody also made a really poor purchase. I think they're going to need to sit on for a little while when it comes to NFTs. They may have overindulged with some of the money in NFTs, but with the metaverse, people are buying real estate in the metaverse to live. And we're not even close to that yet.
Right.
We're closer than we've ever been. But I don't personally get it. Max says, I think the metaverse is an unfortunate but likely future. Less and less people want to actually go out and socialize. E-com shopping is getting faster every day. 1 + 1 = metaverse.
And I think for a segment of society right now, that is true. But there are also, lost control of my mouth there. There are also large segments of society for which that is not true. Basically, take anybody 10 years older than us or more. If you say the word metaverse to them, the majority of them, not all, but the majority of them are going to look like you got a metaverse growing out of your forehead.
Look,
so
I'm not sure people know how to act around other humans anymore.
Oh, I'm fully.
I'm not
aware and guilty of that from time to time.
I'm also guilty of it, but
I mean, you've been in your basement for what, 3 years now?
pretty much. I mean, I think I do pretty good interacting with folks. Like, I think having a live show like this is actually really, really important. I think we can interact with one another, interact with in the crowds and things like that. It's better, but like I'm really guilty of it. When I go to work and see people, I forget how to act, which is bad for me.
Because Scott's normal version of acting is already on the edge. Of, polite society.
Correct. Jason C says, how do you live in the metaverse? More importantly, how do you shower? I would envision it's exactly the same way. Like, you still do the exact same things.
You lay down and you let the Matrix take hold. It's really weird. The Matrix was a touch point for our generation.
It really was.
Up. Neither one of us mentioned it to begin with. You went Pixar. I went pop culture sci-fi.
I think, well, so that is because in the Matrix, it wasn't a choice.
Correct.
So with WALL-E, it was a choice.
Right. Ready Player One was a choice. But you're right. The Matrix,
you were the battery
as far
of the
as
machines.
we understood it.
You were the battery of the machines.
Well, people didn't know there was anything different. They
Correct.
didn't know they were in the metaverse. They thought they were real
reality.
Corporeal, physical human beings. Corporeal is another word for physical. That's
why do you have to use big words on this show?
Because that's who I am and what I do.
Why do you use big words?
That's why my chair says executive producer.
That's why my chair says talent. Actually, my chair doesn't say anything.
Lowercase t.
Lowercase t. Pixelated says, remote work has definitely affected people with regard to social skills. 100%.
Yep.
100%. I think we have to go out and relearn how to be with society. Mm-hmm. But I think there's generations behind us. And I'm going to sound like old guy yelling at the sky for a second.
Well, you do have white chest hair.
Thank you. There are generations behind us, and our generation is also guilty of this too, where we don't do a good job at all interacting with people.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't. We don't know how to act around people. We don't know how to be cordial with people. It's weird. It's wild. We live in a weird world. Weird world.
Getting weirder by the day.
Weirder by the day. Bradley, we were talking about the metaverse.
Lowercase m.
Not the Facebook metaverse. We're talking about being in a metaverse where you put on like AR.
Yeah, an online reality where you can create and live and do things, but you're not physically plugged into it, a la The Matrix or WALL-E or things like that.
Now this is really interesting. I agree with Mac on this one. I see the metaverse evolving into the brick and mortar killer. No physical retail stores of any sort. Employees are selling you products in the metaverse, then it arriving via e-com to the purchaser. 100% agree, and I don't think it's not just for things like you would buy at like a Best Buy or a Walmart or anything like that. You're going to get suits, you're going to get insurance, you're going to get a car, you're going to get the whole thing. You're going to get the whole shebang.
Well, if that's the case, then it truly is just the next evolution, because if you look at it from a generational perspective, our parents' generation growing up only ever bought something by either walking into a brick and mortar store or talking to someone on the phone on a landline that was standing in a brick and mortar store that would then package something up and ship it to their house.
Mm-hmm.
Our generation, with the advent of the internet and e-com and things like that, really leaned into, I don't have to leave my couch for dog food or toilet paper or Jimmy John's or, whatever. And the next generation is now leaning into, I don't even want to go to my couch. I want to sit in my really comfy gamer computer chair and strap on my VR goggles and walk through a virtual store, try on virtual clothes to an avatar that is built to my personal specifications and buy stuff that way. So in that vein, I think it is a digital evolution of a generational trend. But I think where the leap comes, at least for me personally and mentally, is at what point do you start buying digital clothes for your digital avatar with real money versus
We're close.
physical clothes for my physical body with real money? And that's where I get a little weird, just like NFTs.
Miss Sheila says, no social sale, Scott. Not agreeing with that at all. Not going to lie. And here's where I really think there's a market for this. Not going to lie, Drew. I love going to the grocery store in the metaverse just to do regular things that are inconvenient in normal life. 100% agree. 100% agree. And this is where we're going to get to. It's like, I need to go see an insurance. Like if I want to be able to go, I was in a car accident or whatever, I need to talk to an insurance agent. Boom, putting on my goggles, and my insurance agent is right there. I'm taking my phone. I'm in real time showing them everything as it relates to the car accident itself. They can see it in real time. I'm talking to a person.
Talking to Flo.
I'm talking to Flo from Progressive, and she sees everything immediately.
What's the guy's name from State Farm? Jake.
Jake from State Farm.
Jake from State Farm.
He's hideous. Talking to Jake from State Farm, and sees everything, immediately cuts me a check. It immediately shows up in my bank account, either instantaneously, if I wire transfer or whatever. Like, that's where we're going. Like, that's not going to stop. We have to make it accessible, and we're getting closer. We've got to make it really accessible for somebody, like, meaning I can throw on goggles really quick from my phone and be in the metaverse, not be physically at my house.
Right.
Like physically at my house, I can get a much more immersive experience. But if I need something like that,
you might have a chair or some gloves or something else that has some haptic feedback, something like that. But yeah, that would be interesting, especially if it was in a form factor that wasn't like true VR goggles, something more along the lines of Google Glass or the Snapchat goggles or something that have AR built into it to where it displays on the screen in front of you. But, it's not something that you have to carry around an extra bag to hold all of your stuff and the batteries and all of that. So yeah, that could be interesting.
Jason says there are going to be long lines. There you go, the DMV in the metaverse. Whoo!
Yeah, that would...
The movies in metaverse, that would be interesting.
Now, see, you and I go round and round with this.
I'm not a movie guy. You got to remember this.
Well,
although
you are.
Well, hang on. Max says concert work events could also be easily merged. So let's lump this in.
So you are a movie guy when it comes to certain movies or the people that you go to the movies with.
Oh, that's fair.
Versus I am a pure movie person. I love going to the movie theater. I love getting a drink and some popcorn and sitting in the dark with a bunch of strangers all having the same experience at the same time.
Whoa.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Whoa. What kind of weird... Somebody's going to edit that out. I love going into dark places with strangers, as what you just said.
It's okay. It's all right.
Bro.
Ain't no shame in my game. Anyway.
Bro.
But so I love going to the movies not only for the movie, but for the whole experience.
Okay.
So while watching, and for me to give up that experience of going to the movie, sitting as close as I comfortably can to the screen so the entire screen fills my field of vision, AR, VR, whatever, is going to have to take a gigantic leap forward in fidelity and detail and perception, for me personally, for it to replace going to the movie theater.
According to Pixelated, if you ever watch Netflix in Oculus, a movie theater in the metaverse isn't much of a stretch.
Never watched Netflix in Oculus, so.
Imagine going to the movies.
I'm not against trying it, but...
Imagine going to the movies with your buddies from across the world.
And again,
cool experience.
I think that's a generational evolution. I mean, we are now conversing and interacting with people all over the country and potentially all over the world, depending on where everybody in the chat is hanging out right now. And that's amazing. Again, that's something that our parents' generation could never conceive of until it happened. And to take it to that next level, to be able to sit down, with Ben over in the UK or Dan down in Australia and all experience the next Marvel movie together at the exact same time. That would be phenomenally cool. But for me personally, it's going to need to be as close as possible to the in-movie theater experience, because I have had some truly foundational core memories set inside movie theaters just with the experience I have of seeing something on the big screen with the surround sound in that environment.
Mac says, I want royalties. Y'all are my witnesses. We got you, Mac, right here. On a trademark show, nonetheless.
I was going to say, you
trademark show.
Register, patent that stuff, come up with a prototype. We will shill the ever-loving Holy Spirit out of it.
100%.
Real close to cursing right there. That would have been fun.
Absolutely.
But yeah, hit us up. We'll write a contract.
I would absolutely 100%. So the metaverse can be cool. I think the metaverse can be extremely cool. It's going to make people a whole bunch lazier than they already are. A whole bunch lazier than they already are. So in 10 years, kids won't be going to a physical school building. Potentially. I mean, very well potentially. A lot of the time right now, especially like my kids' school, a lot of the work can be done on an iPad. So it's not out of the realm to say that you would go to a metaverse school. I bet we're 10 years from seeing an actual metaverse school. I don't think it's going to be wildly around.
But then I think you have a lot of concerns, because I've heard you and Katie voice this. I've heard other parents voice this about the social interactions and learning those skills on how to politely integrate with other groups of people who don't look like you, who don't act like you, who don't sound like you, who don't like the same things that you do. I mean, that
the echo chamber can get very serious.
At its core principle, that is, in my opinion, one of the most important aspects of in-person learning is the exchange of ideas from people who are so incredibly dissimilar from yourself. And as we have seen during the pandemic, some systems are not currently built to not employ physical proximity.
Yeah.
That's not saying it can't get better. It can't be improved. That's the whole point. We should all be striving to get better and to improve and to help each other every single day.
My biggest fear is when you get into the metaverse, a couple things. If you treat it like a video game, can you just haul off and hit somebody in the metaverse?
Right.
Without any, like,
what are the rules?
What are the rules going to be? What are the consequences for that? You're not really hitting a person, but you're hitting a person. You know, I watch my kids play Roblox, and some of the comments from other, what I assume is children, are awful. Awful. They don't understand that words hurt. Words have meaning. You have to be careful with what you say. Would you want that to be said to you? Kids don't have that.
Well, and then
they don't have that.
Then you get into the same thing that people have been concerned about since the internet became a thing. If you are presenting yourself online as a different representation than what you actually are, i.e., an individual who is over the age of 18 presenting themselves as an individual who's 12 to interact with other 12-year-olds on an online game that is built and marketed to 12-year-olds, you have an issue there. And I think just like our generation has learned and created and attempted to help write the rules of the internet as we know it today, the next evolution of that is going to have to, unfortunately, be policed and written and codified in such a manner that it protects people without limiting the ability for growth and expansion and personal responsibility.
Yeah, Pixelator says, I'm not sure that Roblox is comprised of children. I've blocked it from my home firewall. My kids aren't happy, but I've done them a favor. We're not far off of that, I think.
You got to do what's best for you.
Yeah, you got to do what's best. Drew says meta prison. Right, meta prison. Is that a thing? Malcontent says, right on stats, while these are entirely artificial meeting spaces provide great convenience, meeting in person can be a huge benefit. It absolutely can. I do agree that meeting in person has a lot of benefits. Now, I'm going to talk out of both sides of my mouth for a little bit as it relates to like working from home.
Shocker.
Versus going into the office all the time. I do believe we've reached a point now as we've got to have a reason to go into the office. Just in my personal opinion, is like, just because the day ends in Y isn't a good reason to go into the office. Like going in, freely freely giving speech and these ideas and how they do different things and conversing back and forth and really building rapport. That stuff makes a lot of sense. If everybody that you work with is in the same location. Mm-hmm. If everybody that you work with is not, and you're ultimately going to be behind a screen looking at a camera and viewing the same people, I don't necessarily see the reason for that. That's just my 2 cents. I do think the collaboration, the building ideas, the innovation, all of that stuff makes a lot of sense. I'm not saying don't get together at all. Like, have a purpose for getting together. Have a reason for going in and meeting with all of these individuals, because otherwise we're cutting out time from actually going into work. We're cutting out time from the commute. There's things I can do. Like, I can go upstairs in between meetings, take the trash out, do the dishes, fold the laundry,
get a snack.
Definitely getting a snack. And that takes away, like, I then don't have to worry about that after work. That's just something that I can, like, it's done. And it's good for me mentally, honestly.
Yeah. So to play off that a little bit, I think just like every other technological innovation since the first hominid picked up the first rock or the first, stick and used it as a tool.
Jesus, you're going way back.
Well, there's a point and a purpose to this.
Like, Jesus Christ.
There's a dichotomy between technology being used for good, societal good, but again, who makes that definition, or technology being used improperly. So that first rock, if you use it to carve a cave painting, great. If you use it to bash your fellow caveman over the head,
you're going way back,
great.
Bro.
Talking
about the metaverse here.
I'm coming back to it. So every technological evolution, cars, planes, telephone, radio, TV, internet, it can be amazing. It can allow, global heads of departments to communicate with people all over the planet to get your goals and your visions out there. But you can use that same internet connection, or your kids can use that same internet connection and get cursed out by some other 12-year-old, and you don't like it. So I think, and this may be my generational way of thinking.
Old man yelling at a cloud, here it comes.
There needs to be some sort of common set of rules on interactions between entities in whatever form that interaction takes, whether it's physical. I know per societal rules, I am not supposed to punch you in the face.
God, how many times have you wanted to punch me in the face, though?
Today? But I know in physical person, if I do that, there will be consequences. There will be repercussions. But if I slap you in the face across Duo or text messages, there's no physical repercussions. If I do it in the lowercase m metaverse, who knows what the rules are, because those rules may not have been written yet or coded yet. So, and this is said every single time we are at a technological turning point. Nobody knows what's going to happen because it hasn't happened yet.
Have you seen Upload?
Not yet, no.
Oh my God, what a great show.
Well,
phenomenal.
Somebody earlier mentioned that Severance is the new hot IT kind of weird metaverse thing we all need to be watching.
Upload is phenomenal. Basically, after you die, you can live in forever.
Oh, I actually just read a book about that.
Just a phenomenal show. Just a phenomenal show. It kind of talks about some of this stuff. It's like, that's very metaversey, where you eat and you eat and you think you taste it, but you're dead, so you're not there.
But if you want to go beyond the metaverse and into the I just lost the word I was going to use. Excuse me, and it was a really big word too.
Why do you use big words here?
Because that's who I am.
Can you stop?
No.
For a second.
Because several of the people in the audience like it when I do that.
No, we don't.
Anyway, if you go into the perceived consciousness,
my God.
If you taste something, if you feel something, does that by its very nature make it real? Who gets to determine
my God, Morpheus.
What your reality is?
Good God, Morpheus, get your shit together.
You came up with these show notes. I'm moderately sober. I'm going to talk out of my ass as long as I want.
Morpheus, what is real? What Ryan brings up a good point. ISPs definitely need to get better. And look, at this point, internet needs to be a public service. Like
100%.
Straight up has to be. If we're talking about this type of stuff, it's got to be like
high-speed gigabit internet.
Has to be way up there.
Service.
Has to be way up there.
Just give it to us for free.
Michael says, since the beginning of time, since man made fire with stick and stone.
Man didn't make fire. Fire came from the heavens.
Oh, God, here we go.
Lightning.
Oh, sure. Well, that's where you were going with it.
That's exactly where I was going with
okay. I was discussing ultra-realistic bots with my wife and the idea of someone with an immune disorder being able to hug a family member with a synthetic version of them. VR could be the first step to that.
Malcontent, that is a great word. That's not where I was going, but I love it because I know what you're talking about. Also, I just want to say because we're still in a very delicate time of year for our friend group.
Synchronicanies.
Greg would have loved this conversation, and he would have eaten your lunch with it.
I'm not smart. I don't know. I'm messing with the wrong thing here. Hang on. We've already determined I'm not a smart individual. I'm just really pretty. I'm extremely pretty. I use some of the words. I'm pretty decent words. Very average words. I use very average words.
5-letter words.
No, Greg was
Wordle words.
Greg was really into this type of stuff. So it was just, I just don't see it. There you go. Drew says, I could see in the metaverse AI rates your behavior and overall character type. Like Red Dead guy punches everyone. Bad guy, bad guy does good. Good minds his own good guy. Words? What?
Did we go see Free Guy together, or did I see that by myself?
No, I think we did.
All right, so
Free Guy is the same concept.
So that's AI. The example of, you do good in the Free Guy universe, you gain XP, experience points. You do bad, you lose them. So cool, great. Who sets the rules for what gains and what leaves? Who sets the rules for which behavior? If a standard rule is I punch somebody, I lose 5 experience points. What if I punch somebody that's robbing somebody else? Do I still lose 5 for punching, or do I get 10 for stopping somebody from being robbed? So, I
don't know. That's probably -5. But then you stop the robbery, that's +10. So overall, that's a +5.
Okay.
I mean, so, scared money don't make money.
Those would be the terms and conditions I would actually read. If I could strap,
you're not going to read those terms and conditions.
If I could strap on some VR goggles and repeatedly punch Scott in his nether regions,
I wouldn't feel it.
I would read. Oh no, you're in a haptic suit. You're going to.
Oh, I'm not going to feel that. Not going to do it. Why do we got to get weird with haptic suits now?
Because
we're going to end up being 600 pounds.
Gonna be.
Man, come on.
There's people out there already are, but that would be tough. That would be some straight up Wall-E stuff. And
that's what I'm telling you. It's a lot like Wall-E. Like Wall-E. Scott now determines our meta fate.
What was it?
Those with the gold make the rules. That's right, Miss Sheila. Those with the gold make the rules.
Well,
let's talk about more weird stuff before we go to other things. We'll come back probably the metaverse.
Love it.
Couple weird things we want to hit on. And this goes back to kind of where we are evolving as a society. NFTs are weird, man.
Oh.
NFTs are so weird. And where this came from, this spawned from a tweet. and I will read said tweet. An NFT of Jack Dorsey's first ever tweet was sold for $2.9 million last year and has since been up for sale since last week and has failed to garner a bid over $1,000. As a matter of fact, at the time of reading this, I don't think it's got a bid greater than $277.
Nope.
So this person spent $2.9 million for, and I'm going to, this is not accurate when I say it this way, but I'm going to say it this way anyway, for a picture of a tweet to say that they own it. For a picture of a tweet.
For the digital rights to Jack Dorsey's first ever tweet on Twitter.
Yep.
$2.9 million.
$2.9 million.
For something that you cannot hold in your hand.
Cannot hold in your hand. And they haven't even made $300 off of it yet. If they decide to even sell it. They are trying to sell it for $46 million.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go with it. They're trying to flip it, and make a quick buck, but ain't nobody buying. And rightly so.
NFTs are so confusing to me. Like,
what's more confusing to you? NFTs or crypto?
NFTs.
Okay.
Like, I get the concept, like crypto, I understand it, the blockchain technology, why it does what it's doing.
Right.
Like, I get it. Because it's quote unquote money.
It can be used to purchase goods and services.
Yeah, correct.
Real world goods and services. NFTs,
but NFTs are just like,
are not real world.
I mean, they're on the blockchain too, though.
Depending on the NFT.
True.
Depending on which real reality you subscribe to. But yeah, I mean, crypto barely.
Crypto makes look. I'm not saying that I know a lot about either one of them.
How's your Litecoin doing?
I haven't checked it in a long time. I can actually log in.
You could be a millionaire by now.
No, I'm not, because I don't have Litecoin.
Oh. You had,
I have. Hold on.
Ripple.
I had Ripple. I don't think I have Ripple anymore, though. Maybe I have Ripple. I don't know. Hang on.
But yeah, I mean, I barely am getting my mind wrapped around crypto, but the whole NFT thing is just bonkers to me.
Stats is frozen. Damn it!
What are you doing?
Yep, Stats is frozen. You look super inquisitive too.
Yeah?
Yeah, you're like, ooh.
I was probably looking down at the squishy ball.
Can
I don't know what. Still hear me?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll just keep using big words while y'all stare at my pretty face.
I have Ripple, and it is not worth a lot. Let's just say that I bought.
Ripple's currently being investigated by the SEC, so that's
even better.
That's why it's not worth
That's
anything.
Fantastic. That's just wonderful. I bought Ripple when it was just above $2 a coin. It is now 73 cents. I only lost $50 though. Let's be real. It's not really that much. Frozen in meta. Super frozen in the meta. Let the photoshopping begin. Maybe that was my plan the whole time. Maybe that was my plan.
Folks, if you think he has a plan beyond clicking play or start on the live show every week, you are vastly overestimating his prettiness.
There's no so Malcontent says there's no market or resource which allows us to establish the true value of an NFT. It's all made up.
Well, and my response to Malcontent in the chat was, talk to me about art. Talk to me about real estate. Talk to me about collectible anything that you want. The only price that matters is what
someone will pay.
Any individual or group is willing to pay for it at that given time. Just because that individual chose to pay $2.9 million for a digital representation of the first ever tweet sent doesn't mean it's actually worth $2.9 million. That's what it was worth to them to purchase it. So the fact that it has only gotten a bid of $280 total
Yep.
is hysterical to me. But
yeah, I mean,
I don't have that kind of F
like
around and find out money. So.
Liquidity. I don't have that kind of liquidity.
Did a bear smack him, Bradley? What you talking about?
Yep. Did the bear get him? Let's start a thread of what Stats looks like he's doing.
Oh, malcontent. Diamonds is a great point. Diamonds are not actually rare. Diamonds exist everywhere on this planet. It's marketing that makes you pay more for those nice tiny little pieces of sparkly glass, technically carbon, but whatever.
Getting way down in the weeds on this one. Way down in the Wilbur, talking about NFTs being weird. All right, random question.
Love it.
It looks like he's winding to say a what to a stupid comment. Yeah, it does actually look like you're going, what?
I do that a lot in Scott's presence.
You really do, because I make a lot of stupid comments. We were watching last Saturday. I think it was Saturday. We were watching a YouTube video of two gentlemen. This is getting weird.
Was it Saturday or Sunday?
I thought it was Saturday.
I don't remember.
Maybe it was Friday.
No, it was Saturday.
Okay, all right. Saturday. So we were watching a YouTube video.
Yeah.
Two guys called Bob Does Sports.
Yep.
Bob Does Sports. Fantastic YouTube channel, especially if you're into sports.
Hysterical.
Or golf at all.
Should we plug them?
I mean, I just did.
Well, I was going to find their...
I mean, go ahead. I mean, they're not going to... They're way bigger than all of us.
Fine, but,
which is fine. That's not the point. So if you like sports at all, and you like two idiots on a golf course, they're just phenomenal. They're really, really funny. But the big thing is they have these challenges for them to try. And one of the challenges was, can two guys eat 18 hot dogs between the two of them, so effectively 9 each, in the time of 9 hours, or excuse me, 9 holes.
9 golf holes.
9 golf holes, which roughly is about 2 hours and 7.5 minutes. Roughly, if you follow
2 hours.
Yeah, if you follow the PGA rules. So I ask you the following question. How many So was it 2 gentlemen or 5 guys? How many hot dogs could we put down in 1 hour?
All right. So we've had this conversation multiple times.
Yeah, sure have.
And I remember why it was Saturday night when we were watching these YouTube videos, because Sunday we were at Melissa's all day.
Correct.
So I think personally for me, it depends on... This is going to be a great soundbite. Yeah,
here we go. It's
the size of the hot dog.
Yep, there it is.
And the type of bread. So in the video that we watched from Bob Does Sports, they were big old honking meat tubes of meat with, for some reason, brioche hot dog buns, which are you
keep saying that, and for whatever reason I cannot remember the type of bun. I don't know why. You've said it to me. I go, what goes a bun again? And you tell me every time, and I cannot for the life of me remember the bun.
So,
I just can't.
You know, brioche is a medium density but real heavy bread. So for me personally, if we were doing the exact hot dogs that they did on the video.
Oh my God.
That's a baseline.
Yep.
I think I could probably put down 9 in 2 hours.
You actually believe you could do the same 9?
While playing golf, that's difficult because you're moving around, you're adjusting, you're shifting, you're having to tense up your core to make a swing or something. But if we're talking about like stadium hot dogs from Ohio State wrapped in the tinfoil,
or Nathan's,
where the bun is steamed and it's just like, it's just that perfect. I've had 6 beers at the tailgate. I need some food with some stadium mustard in 2 hours or 1 hour.
1 hour.
All right.
1 hour.
Ohio Stadium, just bottom of the barrel hot dogs, the cheapest ones that they have, in an hour with stadium mustard. I bet you I could do 9.
Oh, 9 in an hour?
Yeah, of the Ohio State Stadium hot dogs.
I would have figured you would have said more.
Well, I mean, my answer on the show notes was 69.
Hello.
So, in bright pink letters.
Hello.
But
Max says he could do 37 hot dogs in the amount of time or whatever amount it would take me to either poop or puke myself.
Now, there were, I think, at least one, if not two, reversals of fortune in the YouTube video that we watched.
Oh, yeah. They absolutely threw up.
These
there
guys,
was just too much.
Got to give a lot of credit to these guys. So this was one of 3 videos we watched where they did these like 9-hole challenges.
Yeah.
The other videos were 18 beers.
Oh, they finished. They did that
holes,
one.
And then 18 minis of Fireball in 9 holes.
Oh, it was awful.
That one, the only way I don't think I could do 9 beers in 9 holes just because of the volume
of liquid. Just so much liquid.
The only way I could do 18 minis of anything, let alone Fireball, is if they are absolutely 100% ice cold. There's no warm in the bottom of the golf bag Fireball shots.
So let's
for
ask.
This guy.
So let me ask this question: we have, could you do 18 12 ounce liquid bevies?
Well, I wouldn't be doing 18. I'd be doing half of them.
So could you do 9 12 ounce? So they did Coors Light. Right. So I think those are bigger than 12 ounces.
No. They're 12 ounces.
Were they 12 ounces?
They used the skinny cans, but they're
okay.
Still 12
They were still 12
ounces.
ounces. Yeah. Could you? How many ounces of ounces of anything is that? So 9 times. What is that?
9 times 12.
What's 9 times 12?
108.
Ooh.
I think.
I don't know. I don't math. I don't math. I just look pretty and I use words. So that amount of liquid in 2 hours while playing golf, could you drink that much?
A younger self?
Not beer, not alcohol.
Just liquid.
Just liquid. Not milk. It could be water.
Oh, I'm sure I could absolutely slam 108 ounces of water in 2 hours, but...
You're sure of this?
I think so. Yeah.
And you could play golf and be comfortable?
Well, I mean... You take a tree break every 2 or 3 holes, sure.
I don't know, man.
I mean, a hot day, mid-July.
I don't know,
out of
dude.
Glen Ross.
That is a lot. That's
Bacon.
a lot.
Bacon.
That's a lot of water. That's a lot of liquid.
So
I don't think I could do 9
Maybe.
dogs. I don't think I could do 9 dogs. That's a lot of meat.
In an hour or 2 hours?
Oh, in 2 hours, I definitely could do 9.
Yeah. And that was the other thing about that video. That was a little weird. I mean, that's just, let's call it 3-4 pounds of food.
Ugh.
You have 2 hours.
You're moving, though, in the heat.
They were riding in a golf cart.
They were still fair. I mean, they're still swinging. They're still moving muscles. They're trying to.
Yeah, but golf is
meat sweats would kick in.
Golf is kind of like an American football game.
Jesus.
It takes 4.5 hours, but you're only swinging a club for like 27 minutes of that 4.5 hours.
I don't care. You're putting a lot of stress on your body. You're putting a lot of stress on your body.
That would be an interesting thing to do the next time we play. Do a timer of, from the time you step up to the ball.
Oh, I can't.
Of the whole round.
I bet you 4.5 hours you're not swinging for more than... I would be stunned if you're swinging for more than 20 minutes. Stunned.
Well, I mean, our games, we take more than the
I don't take any practice. I don't take any practice
amount of strokes.
Well, fair. I'll bet you it's no more than 20 minutes.
Okay.
Easily no more than 20
That would be
minutes.
fun to do.
I bet you, because if you just assume each shot is no more than 2 seconds, we could do the math. 2 seconds. Assume a 2-second swing. And you take, don't count your putts, because a putt's not a swing.
It's a stroke.
It's a stroke, but it's not a swing.
Okay.
So if you take off anywhere between 30 and 35 putts, depending on how good you are, let's just assume for a second you're me and you shoot 85 with 30 putts.
Right.
I've taken 50 strokes of full swings.
Right.
So I have 50 times 2 seconds.
Right.
Is 100 seconds.
110.
That too. 50 times 2 is 100.
Well, you said 85 with 30 putts.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
55
so 100,
swings.
110 seconds.
Right.
I'm not even at 2 minutes
Right.
of actual motion.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, I picked the wrong sport. Good God.
Well,
Man.
but think about it this way. For a professional golfer, they're taking even less strokes.
Yeah.
But their payout is astronomical for the
Oh, my
amount of
God.
time they actually spend
Working.
physically moving.
Working.
Yeah. I mean, Scotty Scheffler just made what, $6 million? Or no,
2.7.
$2.7 million at the Masters
Mm-hmm.
for taking 200 and some odd strokes.
240 something.
Even if we say from his shot setup to lining up to everything, 1 minute per stroke. So he worked for 270 minutes over 4 days and got $2.4 million.
We're in the wrong line of business, bro. We are in the wrong.
Yeah, we're
wrong
sitting in
line
your
of business.
basement talking into cameras.
Speaking of that, April 30th. April 30th.
There was a shout out on Twitter today.
April 30th.
I won't be here. I'm kind of sad.
Where are you going to be?
Memphis.
Are you really?
Yeah, it's Music Fest.
Damn it.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't know that you were in Memphis that week.
Yep.
It's a Saturday. You're not. What? You could leave Sunday.
What are you talking about?
Going golfing on the 30th.
Music Fest is the 29th, the 30th, and the 1st.
I thought it was the first weekend in May.
The 1st of May is on a Sunday. That is what Music Fest. I know. Now, I'm leaving Thursday. I'll be back Monday.
God, you suck.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I won't miss shows, so you won't be able to bitch about me being on vacation.
Yeah, but so that's actually a good point. So we're gonna have a show next week, which is the 20th, and then the following week I will actually be out of pocket.
So you're missing the show.
I will miss show. I
I'm
will
available.
actually miss the show for 3 straight weeks.
Goodness me. This talent over here,
3 straight weeks.
D level.
Probably to at least 2, maybe 3. This actually brings up a good point of what the hell am I doing with Technically Speaking? Because I haven't put out a video in a month.
You're doing what you want.
So,
You're doing what you can.
You know, we never did talk about the 6A.
It's all right. You don't have it. There's nothing to talk about.
You're an idiot, Scott. You don't have it, so I almost dropped an F-bomb.
Am I still frozen?
Yeah, you're still frozen.
That's awful.
Look, I can't help you. We're out of practice.
Who's out of practice? I'm on fire
The
tonight.
cameras are evidently out of practice.
We need to swap cameras for the next show.
Whatever. If it wasn't such a pain in the ass to actually get it to switch, I would tell you that we could do that.
So what are you doing with Tech Speaks?
What am I doing with Technically Speaking? What am I doing with Technically Speaking? To be 100% transparent, I just have not had the drive to create content. I don't know why. I've gotten really far into golf again, by a lot. Been practicing quite a bit with my son during the week when some of the times I would have normally been creating content. But quite honestly, I am in the weirdest like writers, creators funk. I just don't have the mojo. I don't have any ideas. I've got like, I know with Adam over at Tech Odyssey, he has ideas every day. He puts out a video every day. I don't know how he does it. The man is a machine.
He has 17 kids running around his house. He goes into his studio to record to get away from them.
Fair. I mean, however he does it is how he does it. But the idea is, for me, it's just like I have like this awful creator's block where I will think about making content and then all the ideas go straight out of the dome. No ideas at all comes to my mind. I have no creative like flair or juice to do anything. So what am I going to do with Technically Speaking? Well, we'll probably still continue to do the shows on Wednesdays. So there's that. So we'll continue to be 2 great big idiots. Well, one really big idiot and one moderately sized idiot.
Who's frozen in a block
That's
of
frozen
carbonite.
and yeah, it's frozen at the moment. we'll still continue to do our shows and do them poorly. For the edited content, though, I will eventually probably start making videos again. And when? I have no idea.
When you get your hands on that sweet, sweet Pixel 8.
Exactly. When I get my hands on that sweet, sweet Pixel Fold.
Or the Pixel Watch.
Or the Pixel Watch or anything like that. I'll probably...
All those things we're speaking into existence.
I will probably start to make content around Pixel stuff again, but I don't have it at the moment. I don't have it, and it's not bothering me. Normally, I would just beat myself completely up for it. Like, I would just berate myself about not making content, putting out stuff for all y'all. But I don't have it at the moment, and I'm not going to force it. I just can't. I don't know what it is. It's just something weird. Malcontent asks, am I going to I.O.? I wish. I wish I was going to I.O. I wish I was going to Google I.O. I know that I will eventually get back into creating content. There is no question at all that I will get back into creating content. But I don't know when. That's probably the best way I can describe it. So the last time that I felt like this was shortly after Greg passed away, when I was like, I don't know what's going to happen to Technically Speaking. I'll come back whenever I come back. And I came back, later in the year, probably a few months after he had passed away, I came back. So I anticipate me doing something like that too, where I will come back. And YouTube right now is just punishing me in terms of like serving up the videos that I have. Like, it is one of those things where it's just not serving up anything. You don't put anything into the YouTube algorithm, it's going to let you know with the quickness that it does not appreciate that at all. Malcontent, definitely don't stress. Just live your life. We'll be here. I appreciate that very, very much. Malcontent, I appreciate you emailing me. Sorry, I'm awful at emailing back. Stats can totally agree to this. I am a horrific emailer back. Awful.
I don't know the last time I got an email from you.
Exactly. I am a horrific person from when it comes to emailing, but I see them, Malcontent, and please continue to email me. I don't mind at all. Miss Sheila says, do what you will. We've discussed this. Absolutely. I knew what you meant, Miss Sheila, from that perspective. But I'll get back into it. There's no doubt about it. Like, I have a product that's upstairs from Turtlebox that I know I'm going to do a review on. It's a badass speaker. It's a badass dual speaker, actually. And I'll do a review on it. And I'll put a video out here soon. I'm not sure when, but I will. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. It'll probably revolve around the Pixel 6a. Let's be real. Probably. That's all I got.
All right.
What do you got? You got anything else?
Nope, I'm good.
Malcontent says, don't worry, I have very low expectations. I appreciate that. Especially of me, you should have very low expectations. Oh, I have one thing.
Aim for the bottom, you'll never miss.
True. I have one more thing I'm going to do. That is a Pixel 6 Pro. Stats, this is your Pixel 6 Pro.
Woohoo!
I am giving Stats a brand new Pixel 6 Pro.
Cool.
So you can shut up about it.
I haven't asked in
You just
weeks.
shut your hole, just in weeks. And I haven't asked in weeks. Shut your hole. Shut your hole. So congratulations. I wanted to, rather than making money, I'm going to make you happy. Pause.
Yeah, you know.
So I guess there you go. That face, that's the face we're looking for. Like, wow, he is so shook that I gave him that. The look on his face is the what it is. So, all right, y'all. Stats, where can they find you?
Helix Island on the tweet machine. Country Smith on the Instagram.
Find me at Scott Peachy on Twitter, at the Scott Peachy on Instagram as well. I would tell you that I'm active on all of those. I'm not. Just not. Twitter is probably where you can find me the most.
Yeah.
Instagram is just, it sucks me in, man. Like
it's a raging dumpster fire, but every once in a while you find one of those cool little nuggets. You share it as a meme, and then you move on.
And that's why we have our four-man golf group in there, because we usually share golf memes or something stupid. All right, well, y'all be good or be good at it. We will see you same time next week. We will see you then. Be good or be good at it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.